doing? Good.
Good.
All right, I want everybody to say together, can I get a rain check?
Can I get a rain
Can
check?
I get a rain check?
Can I get a rain check?
How many people have ever been to Whitewater? You lived in Oklahoma long enough that you've been to Whitewater? A few of you? One of you, I mean? All right. I've been to Whitewater. Whitewater's a water park in Oklahoma City, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was about 18, 19 years old, I used to babysit my cousins, Jake and Brooke. And during the summer, I would take them to Whitewater. Well, I would let Jake, he was old enough to kind of go and do his own thing and ride some of the slides by himself. So I remember one time I was walking, and I see ahead of me, walking but doesn't see me, I see Jake. And I'm like, I'm going to play a prank on him. I'm going to sneak up behind him and give him a huge wedgie. And it's going to be hilarious. Right? So I like sneak up, and I see him, and I get right up on him. And I mean, I reach down as far as I can, both hands in his pants, grab hold of him. I'm like, I got him up in the air, like dangling. Like, I'm laughing, ha ha ha. He turns around, and I'm like, that's not Jake. That's not Jake at all. I put the kid down, and I'm like, sorry. And just the look, the dude's eyes were like so big, and he's just scared, and I can see he wants to cry, but he doesn't know what's happening. And I mean, I did what anyone would do at that moment. I just left. And I would like to think that today he tells that story way different, you know? Like, I'm sure he's gone through many years of therapy since that moment. And I'm not saying that because when we think of rain check, we think of, you know, a water park, it rains, you get a rain check to come back. I only tell that story because what I want to teach you today, when I learned, my eyes got that same size, right? Like, I was like, oh my gosh. That's the only reason I told that story. But again, can I get a rain check?
Yeah.
Word? Okay. You see, here's what I want to tell you, and I just love this. A lot of times in life, we got storms that come at us, right? And there's storms in the Bible too. But here's the thing with the storms. If we start to focus on a distraction, the issues, the waves, the lightning, the thunder, that will become your main attraction. If you focus on the distraction, it will become your main attraction. Really though, in storms, there's always something that God's trying to teach you. Always. That's what can I get a rain check means. It means when the storms of life show up, don't get so focused on all the things that's going on around you, but instead say, wait a minute, what is God really trying to teach me here? Let me get a rain check. Let me check this out. So I'm going to give you a couple of stories in the Bible where this happened, where I think we can learn more than what we've really read before, right? How many people know the story of Jonah? You read Jonah before? Okay, so we know about Jonah, right? God tells him to go to Nineveh to go preach, and what's Jonah do? He splits. So, yeah, I'm not going. Jonah gets on a boat. He's trying to run away, and what happens?
Storm.
Two of you read the story. Awesome. You're in Bible college, yeah? All right. A storm comes, right? And the storm is crazy. It's so crazy that everybody thinks that they're going to die, right? What ends up happening?
He gets swallowed by a fish.
What? Okay, they throw Jonah over, and then what happens to the storm?
It goes away.
It goes away. Awesome. Now here's the point I want to bring out. We always look at this story about Jonah. Oh, they threw Jonah over. Oh, he goes in the ocean and fish swallows him up. Cool. What about the other guys on that boat?
Yeah.
There was a bunch of other guys on that boat too, going through a horrible storm that might cost them their lives. But we don't ever worry about those guys, right? And the point of that is that sometimes the storm you're going in may have nothing to do with you. It may have nothing to do with you at all. It has to do with who's in your boat. Now you may be saying, well, I don't have a boat. I bet you got one of these. Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe there's some people in your boat that are causing you to go through some storms that you shouldn't really have to be going through.
Yeah.
And if you just throw them out of the boat, that storm may stop. I'm just saying. Get a rain check. Right? All right, that one's good. I know. You don't have to clap for that one. We'll move on. Let's look at Matthew 8. The story of Matthew 8 is Jesus and disciples are in a boat. Jesus is sleeping in the front of the boat. Crazy storm comes. The disciples are like, oh my God, Jesus, we're going to die. It's crazy storm. We're not going to make it. And Jesus is sleeping. They're like, Jesus, wake up. We're going to die. It's crazy storm. And Jesus is like, yo, chill out. And everything chills out, right?
Yeah.
It chills out. Jesus just tells the storm to stop. And here's what's crazy. Jesus looks at him and says, oh, ye of little faith. Matter of fact, right here, it says, suddenly a fierce storm struck the lake. The waves were breaking into the boat. Jesus was sleeping. Disciples went and woke him up, saying, Lord, save us, we're going to drown. Jesus responded, why are you afraid? You have so little faith. And he got up and rebuked the wind and the waves. Now, I was reading that, and maybe because I've been taught forever that Jesus says the faith the size of a mustard seed will move a mountain, right? And that's like tiny. That's like super tiny. So when I'm reading this, I'm like, wait a minute. Jesus is telling his own homies, you have little faith. So a size of a mustard seed will move a mountain. How little is theirs? How small is it? Probably can't even see it. That bothered me because these are Jesus' bros. I'm like, all right, Jesus, I'm going to keep reading the Bible. We'll see. Maybe I'll learn a little bit more. Got to get a rain check, though. I should have got a rain check. So let's look at Matthew 14. It's a little bit further in the book. Matthew 14, the story is the disciples are out in the boat. Jesus left them. He's out on the mountain praying. Another crazy storm shows up, right? This time, Jesus walks out on the water. Comes to them. They're freaking out thinking it's a ghost. And Peter says, wait a minute, no. I recognize him. That's Jesus. He says, Jesus, if that's you, tell me to come out here. And Jesus is like, come on, bro. So Peter gets out, starts walking on the water. What happens? Starts focusing on all the things around him. His distraction becomes his main attraction. He starts to sink. And Jesus said, bro, he looks back at Jesus. Jesus picks him up. They walk back to the boat, right? And what does Jesus say when they get back to the boat? You have so little faith, Jesus says. Why did you doubt me? Again, I'm reading that and that really, really bothers me. Because I'm like, hang on a minute. Peter got out the boat. He did walk on water. How many of you in this room, seriously, don't lie, have tried to walk on water before? Nobody, I'm the only one? None of you have tried. Okay, I know, don't lie. I know most of you have tried it, right? That took some faith. How many of you got like super faith though and tried with all your clothes and shoes on? Just me, okay. I'm saying for Peter to even step out, it had to take some faith. But Jesus again says, you have so little faith. Like, I don't get it. So I was like, okay, I need a rain check. Let's look at what really is going on in this storm. So what I did was, I got out a dictionary, and I looked up the definition of little. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm confused of what's really going on here. And the first thing I saw was small in size, amount, or degree. Awesome. That's what I thought it meant. Okay. But then I looked down one more line. You know how in the dictionary there's like a definition, and there's like, over here, I'll try this one. And I think the second one is what Jesus meant. I think that forever we've been looking at this story as in little faith meant like this. Little faith, little faith. Say the size of a mustard seed. That's what we're conditioned to believe. But here's what the second one says. Definition of little is a short time or distance. Oh, that makes a little more sense. So we've been focusing on faith as a mustard seed, right? When really, what if that was Peter's faith? And what Jesus is really saying is, oh, you have little faith. It just needed to be a little longer. It needed to last a little longer.
That's good.
It's not always about, oh, I need this big, huge faith. I just got to keep believing. Yeah, you do got to keep believing. That's really all it is. We've all been given a measure of faith. You've got faith. Jesus isn't saying you need more faith. He's saying you need that faith to last. Peter got out of the boat. He walked on the water. The dude had faith. The problem is his distraction became his main attraction, and he started to sink. Oh, ye of little faith. Oh, ye of faith who doesn't last very long. So what I want to do today is challenge you to start building your faith. But I want you to do it differently than you've ever done it before. Don't try to grow some big mountain-sized faith. I want you to grow faith that lasts the distance, that goes past all the doubts and fears of this isn't going to work, these prayers aren't working. They are. Keep going the distance. Hold that faith. Little faith, short in duration. Big faith lasts a long time. So when you're going through storms, keep your big faith and always get a rain check and see what's really going on. Thank you.
Amen.
Yeah.